Hi guys, welcome to another video of Shut and Vajes. So it's that time of the year again, new iPhones. So today we have the new iPhone 14 Pro Max with us. This is the new purple color and boy oh boy, it's a good phone. Apple also announced iPhone 14 Pro series with three more color, namely the golden, the silver and the new dark black. If you want to check the unboxing of any of the latest devices announced by Apple, you can go to the Instagram page whose link is in the bio description below, and you can check it out. Moving on to the setup remains simple and easy in a typical Apple fashion. One thing I noticed instantly is how much the new notch makes the device look modern. The old notch was very big and it kind of made the phone feel a little dated. The side bezels are also fairly less intrusive on the content, and it is pushed outwards, so it's good. Overall, the new display feels brighter and modern, which Apple was lacking because of the old notch design. This is the iterative update, mind you. Apple has stopped putting the S model. Don't get me wrong, this is not an S update at all. This has some very interesting and new features, but it's not a complete overhaul either. Talking about the price of the device, it has increased again in India, and it is a little sad because now Apple is going to manufacture these devices in India. But the normal iPhone 14 Pro starts at 1,30,000 rupees, and this one, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, starts at 1,40,000 rupees, which is 10,000 more than the normal iPhone 13. Let's talk about the island. I'm talking about the dynamic island. You must have heard almost everywhere. I'm adding a disclaimer beforehand only to not sound like an Apple fanboy at all. If you have an iPhone 13 or even an iPhone 13 Pro, it doesn't make any sense to upgrade just because of the dynamic island. But boy oh boy, this is a feature that I never thought in my wildest dream was possible. It's like, this is the most Apple way that they could have come out with the pill. Okay, let us look at this from a different perspective. The pill-shaped notch is nothing new. It's just two different sensors. One is the Face ID sensor and the other one is the circular camera sensor. What they have done is, because this is an OLED display, so what they have done is they have turned off the pixels. It's the Apple way actually, because if they wouldn't have done that, it would have made the phones look a lot similar to what the competition has to offer. And I don't think that would have separated Apple. So they traded that for the screen real estate, and the dynamic island was born. It is not a hardware feature at all. You have to keep that in mind. It is a totally software feature to the notch, and it makes it look cool. The distance between the pill and the top edges, the side edges, the bottom edges, everything is so well and so purposefully planned that it just looks wonderful and works seamlessly. It's the Apple way. Everything just works very seamlessly, and they have planned it thoroughly. So in typical Apple fashion, everything is very seamless. It just works. At least now the new dynamic island looks very cool and very promising technology on paper, but I'll have to use it to give you a full review for it. One gripe that I have with this is that this is a nightmare for the front cameras, as they have made the pill interactive through software and touch. So you'll be touching your front camera a lot, and when you touch your camera, it will have smudges all over it. So when you're going to take a selfie, you need to wipe it off, else you are going to have not that clear selfie pictures. Mind you, though, the front camera now has autofocus, so that's also a good thing they have done. The animation for everything in the dynamic island is definitely smooth and very polished. When you swipe up and the Apple Music app goes on top, when you swipe up an app, when you swipe up a timer, and it is using the notification API, so you don't have to update your app also. For developers, I'm telling. So Spotify works right out of the box, and all other third-party apps too. They also have a very cool live widget, which I think will be launching later on, where you can see your, let's say if you have ordered an Uber cab, so you can see in how much time the cab will be arriving on the right side. So in short, they have made the pill the best thing the phone can do, and the best thing the iPhone 14 Pro Max can offer, like the newest thing. So earlier Apple used to hide the notch because it was kind of a restricting factor for them. They didn't have the technology to completely remove it and make the phone just screen in front, but they didn't have any other option also, so they kind of used to hide it in the iPhone 13 Pro, like from iPhone 10 to iPhone 13 Pro. But now what they have done is they have made it a feature, and which is like, I have said it a lot of times in this video, but the most Apple way to do anything. And they have, I think, fixed it and made it look good. And trust me, it will be copied by a lot of manufacturers. Samsung, Xiaomi has already copied on a few devices. So it will be coming soon and we'll be seeing it. I need to test it out to show you like how useful it is in day-to-day life or not. But overall, it's very polished update from Apple. Apple finally added the new always-on display this year because of the new A16 chip. And the Pro models also has a new dedicated screen engine, along with the new display technology that enables the iPhone to reduce down the refresh rate from 120Hz to 1Hz, while in always-on only. So it won't use the 1Hz on other apps, like let's say if you are looking at a stagnant site, it won't use that. Although I do believe that it's going to affect the battery life a lot when it's using it, and it's going to save a lot of battery life for other apps too. But I guess Apple will push out an update in the future. Right now it doesn't. Apple has done the always on display in the most Apple way possible, but I think the big always on display with the wallpaper displaying always is kind of distracting, because let's say your phone is lying down and it always shows you the wallpaper. So it kind of is distracting at the moment, and I will have to use it for a while to show you how much it has the effect on the battery life also. But I think the Android's implementation of always on display is better. Talking about the cameras, Apple has some tricks up its sleeves in cameras department too. They have added a completely new sensor. Finally, we finally get a new sensor, which bumps up the resolution to 48 megapixel on the primary sensor. You can shoot full res data rich DNG images using the ProRes RAW mode. The ultra wide sensor is also improved, but I don't know exactly the results. Stay tuned for a full camera review of the device. We are traveling in Dubai to shoot the full review, and also for the Apple Watch Ultra. On 23rd September it will be coming. Apple also added the new crash detection, which uses a bunch of new sensors to detect crash accurately. How accurate we'll have to see, but I don't intend to test it out. When Apple announced the far out event, people were confused, but it had to do with the satellite coverage. They added the satellite coverage through which you can send SOS messages through a satellite. Apple has a neat little animation also for that. That's not available unfortunately in India and at the moment, but it's going to be soon available, and right now it's coming in fall actually to US and Canada. The new iPhone 14 Pro with the A16 chip is definitely an interesting and a future targeted update. Let us see how the ideas pan out with the iPhone 15. Don't get fooled by Apple's brilliant marketing. Go to a store, check out the device. This is definitely interesting times for iPhones and Apple. See you in the next one.